just saying something that's redundant at this point. Starship attack vector 7. I'm doing cannons. I'm on attack build. The attack vectors boost how much critical I'm going to be doing, or how often I do it. It actually complements my disruptors up front. So Starship Command 7 is going to increase my turn rate. One of the reasons why I have one less RCS. So 7 for that. Weapons, energy. Yes, I did boost my energy weapons to 7. And that's because I want to get their shields as fast as possible. That was my primary focus on the weapons. So on projectile weapons, my torpedoes, I only boosted those 2. The idea being that a torpedo on the hull is always going to do a good amount of damage. This enhances it, but I'm still going to do a good amount of damage no matter what. This is a ground skill assault training. It's a real character. It does do groundwork. Starship engineering. I don't even know what this skill really does. I always put 7 points in it. I don't understand why. I should do some experimenting with this skill. You know, do a couple triple builds and find out if that's really going to have an overall effect on a character like Bird, who's my Vice Admiral. To be honest with you, even though I've been here since open beta, I work 60 hours a week, so I don't get a whole lot of time to devote to the game. So I don't have a whole lot of extremely high level characters, and if you notice I got 12. Most of them are you know, captain. There's only a couple that are less than lieutenant commander. There's like one less than 2 minute. Oh, we're on that character. Anyways, moving on. Starship warp core training 7. Yeah, this is going to help boost your subsystem power. Not a whole lot, but it will help. Right now I have nothing in Starship Operations Training, but if you remember right, I'm using Science Team, and Starship Operations Training doesn't really do anything for Science Team right away. When I get up later on and I start having more science officers, and I start buffing the skills in you know, 2nd tier and 4th tier, I'm going to definitely have something in Starship Operations Training, probably at least 5 points. I might max out at 7, but more than likely at least 5. That seems to be my usual thing. So that's my skills, that's my passives, that's my gear, and that's my difficulty level. I'm going to go find a good fight. I'm going to go ahead and pause this until then so I can keep the video from getting too long. And I'll be back in just a bit. Okay, so we've got ourselves an enemy. I went ahead and dropped out a full impulse at about 17 kilometers. You're going to have a little bit of run on there. You really want to give a chance for your subsystem power to redistribute. So, and this isn't just for the guy I'm having the debate with on the forums. It's for anyone who's interested in the game. You know, things that are going to keep you alive. I call this a bum rush, and this is going to be very counterintuitive, but I'll show it to you anyways. I'm going to boost in at 10 kilometers and then open fire at 6. I'm going to drop down to 1/4 impulse power when I do that in order to optimize how much time it takes for them to approach me before I have to start to maneuver. When I really have to start maneuver, I'll go ahead and jump up to about half power. You really, whenever possible, you want to be at about half engine power because it's going to help reduce your damage. Here we go. The faster you're moving, the less damage you take from weapons. So a part of your defense is your movement speed. And this is one of the reasons why if you're going to play a tactical ship, get the hyper impulse engines. They're going to help you out in the long run. They're not going to boost your turning much, but you're in an escort, you don't need to turn a whole lot. I shouldn't say you don't need to turn a whole lot. The ship that you got comes with a lot of turn. So, now earlier I dropped APA 1. That's Attack Pattern Alpha 1. And really, the captains start to differentiate themselves right around Lieutenant 8. You really want to play up to Lieutenant 8 before you say, oh my gosh, this character type doesn't work for me. Do you see how well that went? That went very well. When you do a quick dash, you only lose a little bit of power, maybe 20 points off the power you've got set, and that'll regen while you fight for the most part, especially at Tier 1. Go ahead and hit redistribute, and then hit Science Team. Boom. Full shields again. Really, attacks are very survivable. The whole idea behind survivability of the attack is knock out your opponent fast. Hit them hard as you can. You want a nice alpha strike. That's why, if you remember right, on approach, when I got close enough, I went ahead and dropped both of these guys. Really didn't have to drop my science team during the fight. Did not have to drop my engineering team at all because my shields were never taken out. Those are the covariant shields working for me. you take out things so fast with attack that covariant becomes an advantage, and you can run covariant as low as 25% and get by. If you're running a science team character, you want to run regen shields, regenerative shields, and you want to run your shield power about as high as you can get away with running. Just because a science ship doesn't have a lot of offensive capability. It's got the least offensive capability of all three ship types, and for that reason, a science ship needs to be able to stay in a fight longer. A escort, on the other hand, you're going to cut through the fight, punch out the other side, go until you got a safe distance and most of your stuff is regenerated, and then you're going to come back through. You're going to turn around, do 290s, do a 180, and you're going to cut back through that fight again with all your stuff on, with all your cooldowns done, and you're going to be hitting with maximum alpha. Notice I came in a little bit too fast, so I'm slowing down. I'm even reversing. I want to extend the amount of time for my subsystems to come up to power. Staying right at the edge here, I want to be able to dash in as quick as I can once my system power is up to line. So now I'm taking on 3 bad guys. These guys are not the worst in the world. They're just frigates. But still, 3 things pounding on a shield face will usually knock down a shield face faster than 1 cruiser pounding on a shield face. So that's something to bear in mind. You don't want to be too close to it when he pops. So I went ahead and dropped the evasive maneuvers. And hopefully before evasive maneuvers finishes up, I'll have myself turned around, and sure enough it worked. Notice once again, use reverse. A lot of people say never use reverse. What do you mean never use reverse? It's situational. It's a rule of thumb, it's situational. If it works at the moment, use it. That's what you want to do. You want to survive. Hey, yay, I finally got another shield back. So, hopefully this will give you a few ideas of what you can do when you're playing attack. Remember, I set the deck against myself in many ways, and I'm still survivable. The main thing is how you fly your ship, how you relate to your environment, and how you make your offense work for you when it comes to attack. If they're not shooting at your shields, look how much damage one guy is doing to my shields. It's ridiculous. I'm on advanced difficulty right there. Attacks are very survivable in the game. Now, I'll probably have to post another vid when I make it to Lieutenant Commander and I get set up in my tactical escort to show how, you know, some hit and run tactics and stuff. I'm not the best hit and run out there. There are some guys out there that just put me to shame. But when you do an escort, hit and run is life. When you do a cruiser, you want to set your cruiser up so it'll stand toe-to-toe with your opponent and just slug them out. Anyways, that's all I got to say about it. I've probably made way too much footage here, and I'm probably going to wind up editing a bunch out. I hope you could appreciate some of what I had to say. I hope that you can understand. I don't have it out for any player in the game. I want players to learn. I want them to grow. I want to see them move on and share anything they've got from me and anything they figured out for themselves with me and with other players. I want that because it's going to help grow the community. And a larger community is more subs. More subs is more money for the devs. More money for the devs is more content for us. So, however you want to think about it, I think of it as being pretty selfish. I want as many players in the game as possible. I really do. I have nothing out against the guy I'm having the conversation with on the forum. I wish him the best of luck. I hope he enjoys the heck out of the game. I hope he figures out tax sometime soon. Because tax, in their own way, are a lot of fun. You can do a lot of mayhem. You're not messing with your opponent's mind, but you can really take a good defensive ball in PvP and start to push it outwards if you're doing proper hit and run tactics. Anyways, that's all I really got to say on it. Best of luck to you. Hope you have fun in game.